Hello and welcome to the Challenge Athletes Foundation Operation Rebound Fireside Chat. My name is Nico and I have the honor and privilege of leading the CAF Operation Rebound program for injured veterans and first responders. Tonight we're going to talk about Operation Rebound, its history and how it benefits our vets and first responders. We're also going to have two of our athletes here, Major Anthony Smith, United States Army retired, and Colonel David Roselle, United States Army. He's still on active duty, two of our athletes. Operation Rebound really started as an idea. What happened was in 2004, David Roselle was introduced to the Challenge Athletes Foundation, and he came out for San Diego Triathlon Challenge that year. He participated, he had a great time, and he said, we have to do more of these types of things for our Iraq, Afghanistan vets. Well, we did have a program established specifically for veterans and first responders prior to that, but it wasn't really a mature program. And Dave really helped establish Operation Rebound to become what it is. Now, at that time, I knew Dave. We were both in the military, he in the Army and I in the Marine Corps. And we ended up deploying together. We linked up in Baghdad. And I subsequently got out of the Marine Corps. And Dave recommended me to fill the position, the full-time position, as the CAF Operation Rebound program manager. I applied, I was accepted, and I was excited to do it. And so when I came on board, what I did was, one of the first acts that I did was I melded the two programs that we had together, the ones for all the veterans and first responders, and then Operation Rebound, which was for Iraq, Afghanistan vets, so it could benefit all of our troops and first responders. We felt it was important to include first responders. They were the first ones to take the shot on 9/11, and they're also out there every day helping us in our communities, whether they're police, firefighters, or paramedics. So it has been an honor and privilege to be here for the last 12 years. As many of you do know, our program is open year-round. It's an online grant. You can go to operationrebound.org and apply for a grant anytime during the year. And it's a one-time application. After that, it's a phone call or an email to us. And we support any sport, whether it's acrobatic plane flying to Zumba dancing and everything in between at any skill level. It's about helping you stay active. So with that, I'd like to introduce and turn it over to Major Anthony Smith, United States Army, retired. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be part of the discussion. One of the biggest things I found that Operation Rebound helped me with is developing a higher self-esteem, keep me involved in my athletic sports. After going through what I went through from being 320 pounds, like you said, running around smoking cigarettes. But I was smoking like 5 packs of cigarettes then. Like I was like a smokestack. Wasn't in the best of health. Nico came along, he helped get me that bike to get in that first triathlon, and been riding ever since. And now I've lost over 95 pounds. Now I'm down to 230, still trucking it. But the Operation Rebound within itself gave me the attitude and the strength to keep pushing forward, and also gave me the networking with other disabled veterans that needed that same encouragement to keep going. And just a little bit short of the story from being injured in Iraq, from going. The reason I love the front line to finish line logo so much is because I actually did it. I went from the body bag trying to make it to the finish line. So from the front line to the finish line, we keep going. And race is not always given to the swift nor the strong, but to him that endures to the end. And that's one of the biggest things Operation Rebound has taught me and encouraged me to do, in spite of a lot of things that were going on at the time.
Thank you, Anthony.
And, you know, Anthony, as you know, Operation Rebound is all about accountability and holding one another accountable, right? It's
Yes, sir.
providing you with the resources you may need and then making sure that you're using them. That's what we ask for people to send in their training logs, that type of thing. But also, we all need accountability. You know, when you're injured and you're put in a hospital bed, and you're taken out of your team. People are all focused on you to get better. And as a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine, you're outwardly focused, and you're not used to that. And so it's important to give the troops a mission. And when you give them a mission, that's a sense of accountability. And sometimes when you're injured, you don't feel you can do something. Somebody gives you that mission, like Operation Rebound does, and says, go forth and do great things. And oftentimes we see that happening, as in your case, as in so many others. And with that accountability, really, that started with the ethos that Dave Roselle inspired this program to be. So with that, I want to turn over to Dave Roselle to talk a little bit about his journey, about really coming up with the idea of Operation Rebound back in 2004, and what that accountability means and what he's doing for those troops to make sure that they do hold themselves accountable, and that he can be that person that they can rely on as well as that mentor. So Dave, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Nico. How do you read me? I failed my PCI on this one. Okay, good. Hey, everybody out there. I'm sorry, my computer decided to do an update 10 minutes before we got started tonight, so I'm on my phone, and it's not as good signal. So I apologize for that greatly. But Nico, just give me a wave if I break up or something. I need to repeat something. But you know, I'm really proud to be talking to everybody tonight to talk about this program that means so much to me and has meant so much to so many of our newly injured for the last, you know, for about the last 15 years, really. And I can't believe it's been that long. But you know, when I first got injured back in 2003, and I went to Walter Reed, you know, before I got to Walter Reed, I'd never met another amputee in my life I can remember. So it was totally foreign to me. And the idea of, you know, all the different, you know, rehabilitation, everything that was available at the time was really focused on a geriatric population. And so very few people were talking about anything more than how fast can you stand up and can you walk 100 yards and those kind of things. And so I was very lucky that I got to work with a physical therapist who treated me like I had a knee injury and got me back to being on active duty within 18 months of injury back into Iraq. Where I got to go spend some time with my friend Nico Marcolongo over there, and so there was a whole route that I went on my professional return to duty. But then I realized that through that process of rehabilitation, I had kind of become a triathlete, and it was unintentional. Before I even heard about Challenge Athletes Foundation or even thought about doing a triathlon, part of my injury, I swam first because I didn't have a leg. I biked as soon as I got my leg, and I was able to run as soon as I got my running leg. And those three events are the three events of a triathlon. So when I went out to play in a buddy bowl with Nico, I learned about Challenge Athletes Foundation, and then went out for San Diego Triathlon Challenge. And Nico and everybody else said, "Oh no, it's great. Just jump in the ocean. It's a 1.2 mile swim. There's great whites out there, but they're mating right now, so they won't bother you. Just go have fun." And that was kind of the beginning of everything that happened. Is I was so inspired by the incredible people of Challenge Athletes Foundation, the incredible athletes, the incredible staff, the people of La Jolla and San Diego, and all the support that they gave the military. I had not seen anything like that before. I was living in Colorado, in a military town where people were protesting outside the gates. So it was a big change for me to be part of something that was so unique. And so Challenge Athletes Foundation had the right model for getting our athletes, getting our veterans back into sports. And it just made sense to work through Challenge Athletes Foundation to use that foundation ideology of getting grants out to soldiers and sailors and airmen and first responders in order to get back on their feet and get back into training. And as part of that, I was lucky in that I was able to launch Operation Rebound with Challenge Athletes Foundation by doing Ironman which I said Navy, didn't I? I'm sorry, I forgot Marines. But sorry, I always forget the Marines. Even though we fought together in Fallujah, I believe in those guys. But I was able to launch Operation Rebound by doing Ironman. So I qualified in Coeur d'Alene and did the Coeur d'Alene Ironman, and then I went to Kona and did the big show. And that honestly seems like a lifetime ago. But that was certainly a great way to launch it. We did a whole bunch of great triathlons through the year. We put together Operation Rebound team that first year. I think we raised a lot of money. I can't even remember anymore, but we did like Escape from Alcatraz. We did all kinds of, we did the first Chicago triathlon. We did the first New York City triathlon. So we were part of a lot of great things. We're sponsored by Accenture. So we did some neat stuff. And then Nico was at a point in his career where he was ready to retire and do something different. And thank God we got you, Nico. You saved yourself by saving our program and making it what it is today. And I owe everything to you. You've been incredible. So I'll turn it back over to you with that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to tell everybody out there, this is your program. I'm just here to facilitate it. So the success of Operation Rebound really comes from the athletes. I get so much good input from the athletes that we just infuse into the program. That's what makes it what it is. What we really try and emphasize through Operation Rebound, which all of you know, is we want to promote independence. And now independence does not mean alone, but it does mean that we're going to provide you the resources to the best of our ability so you can go out and do the sport of your choosing at the time and place of your own choosing. Whether that's flying acrobatic planes, like Justin Metters down in Texas, to Zumba dancing, just as Benjamin Perez does in Puerto Rico, everything in between at every level. The whole idea here is that you're able to re-engage in life through sports. And if you're having a difficult time with anything, you can always reach back to your team because you are part of the team. Once Operation Rebound, always part of Operation Rebound. You can reach out to me. We can connect you with other people to get you what you need. And then sometimes it's just a conversation. Right now we are going through a challenging time. There are a lot of events that have been canceled. I know a lot of you love going out to compete, to be with your fellow veterans, and that's just not happening right now. But we have it in us to overcome this. And we're all, we may not all be in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm. And so if you're finding yourself struggling with something, make sure you reach out. You can reach out to me. Like I said, reach out to your fellow veteran. And sometimes it's just a phone call. Sometimes it's just an email. Could be a Zoom like this. So, the emphasis here, we are a sports organization, but what we're trying to do is empower you through sports in life, just as Anthony did. Anthony, like I said, when I met him, he was 310 pounds, smoking cigarettes in an automatic wheelchair, mad at the world. And now he's teaching at-risk kids Taekwondo. And he wasn't thinking in his mind that was ever going to happen again. And, I learned this from, something that John Register would say, hey, give me the hard yes, right? It's easy to say no. No, we don't do that. No, I don't think you're good enough. No, that can't be done. I'd rather say, you know what? Yes, let's attack this thing and let's figure it out sometimes along the way. I think Dave had a question. Dave, did you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, I think you let me talk about the background of Operation Rebound, which I'm flattered to do because I was part of that. But I really just do want to mention how Operation Rebound has adapted over time. I mean, over the last 15 years, we really did go from, really trying to get folks like Anthony back on their feet, quit smoking, and be held accountable for his actions and behaviors. And then now ask him to go back and be a mentor for other people. And I think over time, we've done that with a number of different people. We focused on Olympic athletes for a while. Every time Olympics come up, we help winter, summer. But it's really, those are nice things to have, and they're nice to profile. But it's really that person that has been stuck in a wheelchair for the last 10 years that wants to get on a bike and just ride with their kids for the first time. You know, we don't want to get lost in the fact that we've taken care of so many of these high-end athletes. It's really about creating accountability of ourselves as we recover from injury, which may take a long time. And I have to admit, when I was young, which was a long time ago, I was frustrated by our military injured that weren't engaged. They wouldn't come to things. We'd invite them and they wouldn't be there. Or if they came, they weren't present. Right. And I would get so angry at them and say, yeah, they came and they didn't talk to anybody. They were totally by themselves. I didn't realize that they just weren't ready for that. You know, and we're going to have, you know, Nico all the time is bringing in and introducing me to guys from like the Vietnam War or guys from the Gulf War. You know, they are finally ready now. It may have taken them 35, 40 years to be ready to come in and do this. But you know what? We're part of a foundation that's got legs and it's going to last through COVID and everything else. We have an Operation Rebound that will last through the next war, and we can continue to adapt and take care of people as needed. So kudos to you, Nico, for continuing to be adaptive, because you don't adapt, you die, especially in this market right now. So very impressed with what you're doing, but absolutely we can't forget about those people that just want to go for a 5K with their children, because that's just as important as sending somebody to the Olympics, I think.
Absolutely, Dave. Totally agree. Anthony, you want to talk a little bit more about, you know, it's been a long journey for you, but where you are now, and, you know, talk a little bit about Braylon too and what he's doing and you know, his experience, if you will, about being around, you know, not just learning from you, but coming out the San Diego Triathlon Challenge and the impact it's had on him, because what we're trying to do here too is, you know, have a societal effect. It's not about a level playing field. We want people on the same playing field across the board. And I know you do that quite a bit at your dojo, Anthony.
Correct. So if y'all hear stuff in the background, that's my students in the background. But it's what David said is real important, because I was really on a big bad down spiral. I was at the point of really giving up, like totally giving up on sports, on not necessarily life, but I was going into like a cocoon. And when I got to see folks like David Roselle, Oz, and all them performing triathlons, and got to see them cross the finish line during Ironmans, I said, well, I'll try. And, so one of my biggest things I did before I got injured was swim. So I did a lot of relay swimming at that time. And as I started doing more of the swimming, I started getting more confident swimming those 1.2 mile swims to the point that I was ready to get back into martial arts. And so what I did was I started doing a whole lot of stuff to get me ready for martial arts. And one of the biggest things, and I had misunderstood Nico. I thought Nico said, if you do all these Ironmans for me, I'll get you back in martial arts. But that's not what he said. That's what I heard. And so when he showed up with the bike and we did the Qualcomm, did 300 miles of that. And then the next time I did 600 miles of it. And it got me really geared that I could get back into martial arts and start opening up the martial arts schools. And in 2000, what was it, 9, we got the martial arts school back open, but we're having a lot of difficulty because, you know, being disabled, trying to teach martial arts is one thing. And then when Nico came in with the assistant and brought in a lot of support for me and helped get my name out there, actually, I started getting the support that I needed, that I thought I wasn't going to never get, because I had got let down by so many different groups that said they were going to help, but they didn't help. But Nico kept his word, and I excel from that now. I run 17 martial arts schools around the world. My organization consists of 32 grandmasters, 117 masters, and over 400 students around the world that have me as their grandmasters. I run my own personal martial arts school straight out of here. This is the headquarters, and we established our own AOBK system. And then on top of that, Nico sent me off on a bike ride one day, and my wife calls me up and tells me she's pregnant. And told Nico he about to have a divorce on his hands because I had a vasectomy at the time, but I didn't know that when I was injured, they had hooked everything back up and didn't tell a brother. You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up having little Braylon, and then Braylon became our miracle baby, and he became the driving force behind everything that I do. That I got to stay in shape. I got to do what I do so he can get to where he needs to be and get to do what he does. And it gives me that extra driving force. And I started reaching out to other fathers that were veterans that had children to bring them in on the ride. And we'd go to the kids' triathlons together. And we participate in a big family group here now, where we say one mind, one body, one family to keep it going here. And Braylon is like the little mini me, and I live vicariously through him. This year he finished the master's test, one of the youngest black belts to ever finish the master instructor test from hanging around his dad all the time. He's not old enough to get his black belt yet, but he got what they call a junior black belt, and he gets to wear the red and white belt because his dad's a grandmaster, which is so cool. And we try to exemplify that for all the other veterans and everybody else that participates in the program, because we really did come from out of a hole to where we're like sitting on top of the mountain. But I don't want to be on the mountaintop by myself. I want all y'all to come up there with me and be able to sit down at the table too and enjoy all these things that that Operation Rebound has for you. Because when it first started off, you know, I thought all we're going to do was triathlons. Then it just started opening the door to so many other sports that there's so many people across the board. I think me and Nico talked one time. We used to have a little group we called the A-Team, because we got jealous because David got to go back to the military and the rest of us didn't. So we started us an A-Team. And it was just 4 or 5 of us that was doing everything. And then I think within the next 2 years getting out, man, there was over like almost 100 different athletes that had joined in from all different types of sports that opened the door for me to go to other sports and help other athletes. So being a big ambassador for Operation Rebound, you know, is awesome. And I'm telling you guys can do the same thing. And it's because of folks like David that started that movement, that I was able to latch on and be able to do what was required. And trust me, they didn't cut me no slack for my disability. They require me, if you're going to do it, do it. If you ain't, stay your tail at home. But they used a couple other words that I'm not going to use on Zoom.
Thank you, Anthony. So it is important, and we know how important his families are. And that's something, you know, through empowerment. And again, our vehicle is sports. The idea is to empower you so that you're comfortable with those relationships. You're comfortable in your own skin. You know, all of you have a capability out there. I'm seeing names pop up here that I recognize. I see a couple names I don't. So I'm glad that we have some new people here. And the process to get support from us, it's pretty simple. We've got a grant. It's open year-round, 365, 24/7. And I'm awarding grants pretty much every day. It's online at operationrebound.org. That's operationrebound.org. It's all online. Our demographic are permanently physically injured or disabled, active duty, honorary discharged veterans, or first responders, police, fire, paramedics. You get on there, you establish, you know, you upload your medical proof of injury, you upload your proof of honorable service. There's a couple other things on there. It's a pretty quick application. After it's on hand, you're done. You fill it out once, and then it's a phone call and email to me. If we've got the funding, we're going to help you. And that's our, you know, our biggest struggle is always getting funding. But we seem to be doing pretty well so far over the years to get out what you need. That's the operative word, get you what you need. We can't always get you what you want, but get you what you need. And if any of you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, email me, call me, go on the website, learn. But this really is, CF is really a community. It's a community of athletes, and we are we're proud to have you as a part of it. Each and every one of you matters. So thank you for being part of the team. And if anybody has any questions, please just go ahead and chat them out, and I'll answer them. Or if you have any questions for Anthony or Dave, they can answer them. Dave was the first amputee to command a unit in modern times to return to the battlefield. And it was my first deployment to Iraq, Dave's second, that we linked up in Baghdad. And then he went on, subsequently did, I think it was, he corrected me on that, I think it was 2 more to Iraq and then 2 more to Afghanistan since then. Anthony was injured on April 25th, 2005. Is that right? 2004. He took a rocket through the hip, got shot 4 times in the chest, got his teeth knocked out, blinded in one eye, put in a body bag because they thought he was dead. They went to check him, check all the dead, and it turned out he was still alive. And he was in a coma for 62 days. So he's really come back from the dead. We do not, again, Operation Rebound is not exclusive to veterans. It also serves police, fire, and paramedics. So they are eligible for support as well, year-round. Let's see, questions. What do you need from us, Nico? What do I need from you? I don't need anything. I just want, if you're not, and again, if you're not familiar, go to the website. If you are familiar and you know of anybody else who needs our support, please send it to them. Please send them information, send them my information. One thing you can do is spread the word about what we do. If you have opportunities to go to speaking engagements, if you have opportunities for media outreach, that type of thing, let me know. We can provide you all the resources you need to help you out with something like that. Again, this is your program. It's going to be as good as you make it, because one guy sitting here in San Diego, California, it's not my goal to micromanage this thing. My goal is to empower you so you can reach your goals. We don't have any chapters. It was one of the questions. We don't have any chapters per se. We do have a Northeast coordinator that is CAF. But as far as Operation Rebound specifically, that's me. And if you reach out to me, and if you need support, like on the ground in a certain area of the country, chances are we've got a connection there and we can link you up with them. Scheduled events, another question. Are there any scheduled events for 2021? Everything's on hold for 2021. Right now, we're looking at, with the support of Jim Cahill, who runs the Veterans and Winter Reunion program, support Operation Rebound in Kirkwood, California. We have 4 cross-country ski rigs up there, so we're looking to get the troops out there skiing in March. Let me know if you'd like to participate in that, provided we're allowed to. California is locked down right now pretty heavily, not allowing a lot of events. So we're going to have to see what happens in 2021. I unfortunately think that, what's going to happen in 2021 overall, I wouldn't get my hopes up for too many events, especially for the first part of the year, since there won't be access to a vaccine. They're not anticipating a vaccine, at least widespread use, until next summer. I don't know where we as veterans are going to be in the pecking order in that, but I wouldn't anticipate that there are going to be too many events going on the first half of next year. So, but ideally we'll be able to have our CAF Community Challenge next fall. We're doing that right now. It's all online. You're all welcome to join in the CCC. It doesn't cost anything. You just count your miles to whatever you're doing, whether you're biking, walking, you're shooting archery, we can convert it to miles, and you can contribute to our 1,000,000-mile goal. Go to challengeathletes.org and you'll see the information about the CF Community Challenge. It runs through October 18th. Looks like that's it for questions. Anybody else have any comments? All right. Well, with that, I want to thank you all for being here. Again, Keep up the good work, and make sure you help somebody else get from the front line to the finish line. Thank you.
Of course.
Oh.